Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached September, and you know what that means. It's time for Dub Life from DragonCon.
It's Dub Life, every Sunday afternoon. It's Dub Life, Natalie and Kaya too. If you ride the horse, say, make sure you squeeze it tight. It's Dub Life tonight.
Safety.
That's right. We're here. It is Dub Life episode 253, I believe. DragonCon. Part 1, probably. I think this will be a 2-part Sunday episode. DragonCon usually is, if you're not familiar with DragonCon, it is a very large, pushes 100,000 attendees, pop culture convention in downtown Atlanta. Happens Labor Day weekend every single year. I don't know how many years DragonCon's been, 30, something like that. It's older than MomoCon. So MomoCon is a convention about all things that are animated. So anime, of course, American animation like Family Guy or Simpsons or Mickey Mouse. Then you get video games and all sorts of stuff. DragonCon is like everything pop culture. It's an everything pop culture convention. So Marvel movies, Game of Thrones, costuming, conspiracy theories about aliens. Like, it's really anything that is kind of in the nerdverse, or even there's science stuff. You know, it's true all things nerdy. And it is our hometown convention. It's the first convention I ever went to. When the first time I went to DragonCon has to be 20 years ago. Probably is right. About 20 years ago. And it takes over the whole city. Downtown Atlanta. It takes place across, let's see, how many hotels are host hotels? The Westin Atlanta, the huge sphere, or not, a cylindrical hotel. The Marriott Marquis, which used to be filmed in Marvel all the time. It's the TVA in Loki. The Hyatt downtown. The Hilton downtown. And used to be the Sheraton. I think it's the Courtyard Grand. That's where we stayed the beginning of MomoCon. That's where Ranger Stop is. It takes over all of those hotels. All of it. The whole thing. Plus, it has the America's Mart, which is where vending halls are. You would have seen some of that in the videos already. I think there are 4 floors of shopping there. Then another building of the America's Mart with all the gaming, tabletop gaming, card gaming. There's so much. Then all over the city, the parade. There's other buildings, I think, involved, too, because there's a place that has the arcade. There's just so much to do at DragonCon. And because it is a convention that does not sleep, it starts now, Thursday at 5 p.m. It ends Monday at 5 p.m., 24 hours a day, all the way through. There's something going on somewhere. And it's all in these hotels, so there's people having a good time partying all the time. It's a great convention. And we're headed down there. Natalie and I actually went down yesterday. As I'm filming this Friday morning, I took the weekend off work for this. We went down Thursday night, got our badges, walked around just a little bit. I didn't film anything there, just getting a lay of land. It's already busy. Already. It was busy on Wednesday before the convention even started. 2 days before the vendor hall opens. As I'm filming this, the vendor hall opens in, 1 minute, actually. And it's already slammed busy down there. So it's incredible how this convention has grown. It shrunk a little bit after COVID, but it's exploded back up. We love it so much. It's a very favorite convention. So that's what this is going to be. But before we go any further, let's talk about Mom. Mom's had another really good week. It's actually been 2 weeks since I last recorded. And she's had a really good 2 weeks. She's been doing more, being able to stand with assistance and using a piece of equipment, and doing more sitting in the wheelchair, going on walks. So lots of steady, slow, but steady improvement each day. And we're really proud of her. She's working really hard. So thanks to everybody asking and prayers and well wishes. We continue to pray and hope for Mom to have the best outcome. And she's had a good couple weeks. So we are thankful for that. So brief update there. What are we going to do in this video? Well, let's first think about what DragonCon is. It is not a shopping convention, though we will go shopping. It is an experiential convention. It is a people-watching convention. And it's some of the best costumes you'll ever see, really cool panels, lots of stuff. So this episode, part 1, which I think will just be today. I think it will just be with me. Kai's in school, Natalie's got work, but it'll just be me. And I'm going to head down, and I'm going to kind of walk around the different buildings, and then ultimately end up in one of the vendor halls for shopping, hopefully. so we can look at some of that and hopefully film the videos you already watched, the hunt videos that would have been on Wednesday and Friday. So I'm going to try to give you a lay of land. You're going to get it from my perspective. You're going to hear from me, talk about DragonCon. If this is a convention you're ever interested in going to, we appreciate it. DragonCon has us out with press passes, so we really try to cover the convention comprehensively. And then next week's video will be more with the family. Tiffany's coming with us for the first time in a couple years. She's been away to college. She's an adult now. But those of you who've been watching for a long time, Tiffany used to go with us to conventions. We're excited to have her joining us later in the weekend. So we'll connect with the rest of the family later. That'll probably be in next week's episode. But from time, you and me, let's get our perspective, Big Dub's perspective, from DragonCon 2025. Let me head down there. I got a long drive to get down there. But then let's do it. We're here. We are in downtown Atlanta for DragonCon. And in this video, I want to try to give you a lay of the land if you've never been to DragonCon, so you can know and show you some fun things. So let's start with where I parked. I'm right here on Cortlandt Street. That's Cortlandt Street right there. You can be on the interstate in like 2 minutes from here. That is the Marriott Marquis. That is the Hilton. You see that little spaceship? That's the Hyatt. Those are the three main hotels of DragonCon. Right there is the Sheraton, or the Cortlandt now, and then the Westin's way up there. The shopping's up there. But so this is super convenient. But it is expensive, I won't lie to you. But this is where I choose to park. And if you don't pay, they're gonna boot you here. But it is $62.50 this year, every day. Brutal. That's a brutal cost. So for the 5 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that we'll come down here, $315 that we're gonna spend just to park. Now, you also don't have to park. We choose to park. It makes your car really convenient because we don't stay at DragonCon because it's nearly impossible to get into the hotels here. You have to pay a year in advance, win a lottery. It's like the hardest action figure pursuit. It's just really challenging. But we can get in and out really easily. It's convenient. You can, have a change of clothes in there or whatever. And when you're ready to leave, you can just dip. So it's the one I'd recommend. But, you can MARTA here really easy. That's our public transportation. And park at a free lot and spend $2 to get down here. So that's what we do. Streets are busy already. Like I see the Witch King right there. Yep. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you where you pick up your badges from. Unfortunately, at least this year, and so far, DragonCon has no way to pick up your badges other than in person. You can't get them mailed to you, and they have no pickup spots. So it is not the easiest, but I'm going to show you, and then we're just going to walk the con. All right, we're just one block down. That's the corner of my parking lot right there. The Cortlandt Grand. This hotel you won't do a lot of stuff at. It does have some panels, but this is the hotel that has badge pickup. And it's the hotel that has hosted Ranger Stop over the years, although Ranger Stop was somewhere else last year. It used to be the Sheraton. It is a host hotel. It's a hotel you can get room rates at. And you pick up your badge on the bottom floor, like the basement on the inside. And the line doesn't seem to be that bad. Yesterday, when I picked up badges, the line was very bad. Yeah, you see that sign? So you could walk right in and pick up your badge right now, which is nice. There's a big line inside. Eventually, what they will do is they will wrap the line back and around the hotel, down the block. They make it where that you can just basically never stop walking. So I ended up going like 3 blocks down, then turning around and coming back, and you just walk the whole time. You don't stand. And then eventually you get your badge. So I think they've got it well organized, but the Cortlandt Grand is where you're going to pick up your badge, and you may not ever come back. The cool thing about here is I have all these food trucks outside the Cortlandt Grand. Shaved ice, grill, burgers, all in this area. So you come pick up your badge, and then you can get a snack if you want to. And these food trucks stay here most of the con, at least during the day hours. So definitely something you can get some good food at. All right, you see they got the DJ letting you know what's going on. I have my badge.
Side of the door here and follow the blue line.
You can hear him. So you hear him say you follow that blue line, and it'll take you into the badge pickup, which honestly it moves pretty fast. My line yesterday was very long, and it only took me like 45 minutes. One thing that you'll notice whenever you enter a hotel, you'll have a sign like this where it tells you, where did you just walk into? Because if you look in the app or the maps, you can figure out, and what is here, right? And then a QR code to get you there. So these signs are all over the place to help you navigate, because it can be quite confusing since you're walking in and out of buildings all across downtown Atlanta, or midtown Atlanta, I guess. But you see, following the blue line, going to pick up their badges. Also in the bottom here, there's all kind of information things about charities. Sometimes they have a DragonCon store. Yeah, it does look like they have a DragonCon store in here. And there are certain exclusive things at the DragonCon store that do tend to sell out. You see some things already have sold out. Beanie, bucket hat, flag, shot glass 2012. Oh, that's old stuff though. Pre-order. So they have, you see right there, scan the QR code to see the current store merchandise and pricing. That's nice. You see all the different ugly Christmas sweaters, t-shirts. So this is like official DragonCon merch for the con. And then just a lot of other things. So I want to make sure that you saw here, and then you'll see these information booths all over the place. You see that? They'll help you get to where you need to get to. And then there's a robot. Got some sticker packs.
This is 4 for $10 right there.
Are those magnets?
Those are keychains.
Keychains.
You can easily make them into magnets.
Yeah, it's a little baby dragon. Charity coloring book. That's the shirt this year. I like this one. Oh, bigger dragon. That little dragon. Look at that Stein. That's cool. A lot of good stuff this year. So that gives you a feel for what happens like right away. Come here, get your badge. You can start picking up badges maybe even Wednesday. I know you can Thursday at 2 p.m. And then you enjoy. Now, you would be asked, well, why do I need a badge if this is all through the city? Well, eventually you need badges to get into any of the hotels or any of the buildings. But you could not have a badge and come hang out outside and watch the parade and whatever. But to get into the hotels, they're going to start looking for badges or a key card, like you have a room. So you got to have one of them. That's where we just came from. That's where we're parked. We're walking this way now to kind of the more main. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter the Hilton up here on the right. The Hilton, the Marriott, and the Hyatt are all connected by sky bridges like that. So like right now, it's actually pretty pleasant in Atlanta. It's like in the 70s. But sometimes at DragonCon, it's like 100 degrees in September. And so those inside walkways are very helpful. They're kind of confusing to navigate. Sometimes they get really crowded, they get shut down. But I want to show you how to navigate those. And each of the 5 host hotels kind of have what they're known for. Marriott certainly is the main party hotel. It's the hotel you see all the images from and the videos from. But like the Hilton has grown in popularity. It has like karaoke it hosts. It's become more of a hangout and party hotel. Like the Westin and the Cortland are a little bit quieter, so you don't want to hear raves going on at 4 a.m. It just depends on what you're into. You can learn that pretty easily from the various Facebook groups, Reddit, whatever. You can learn about that. That's the air garage I'm parked in. You see even there, they have a food truck there. There'll be food trucks back behind it. You'll find places to get food all over the place. All right. Hello, hello. We got costumes all over the place. There's the Hilton. Sometimes you go in these side entrances. Not sure if they're open right now. I think you may have to have a badge to get into not a badge, but a room key. But it's not very busy right now, so we'll just go in the main entrance. One thing I'll tell you is you're going to walk a lot at DragonCon. It's often 6, 7, 8 miles or more, because all these things are several blocks apart. They're all huge hotels with many floors of programming. So, you know, drink lots of water. You got the 3-2-1 rule of DragonCon. You need at least 3 hours of sleep, at least 2 meals, and at least 1 shower. That's a key. Ain't nobody want to smell your stank. 3-2-1. But really, if you're older like me, you need a little more sleep, and water's key. And make sure your feet are rested. Keep the Advil close, the Gold Bond medicated powder. That's a key. You see, those are people that are making sure you have a badge. So this is the main lobby of the Hilton. And they always have cool theming. See, DragonCon's a private event. You got the membership maybe purchased, so here you go. You're in the Atlanta Hilton. It tells you what's here. And then it gives you the QR code. The Hilton has a cool atrium where you can look at things. Trader Vic's is in the basement. That's a restaurant. There's also a restaurant in the very top of this hotel. And they always have a nice nice photo op place. So how to con your dragon, like a how to train your dragon thing here, which is neat with Toothless. We came in there. We have to get to the second level to use the Sky Bridge to walk over to the Marriott. So we'll walk around it. You can see the Marriott there. The Hilton always has food. Aviva. So Camille, Aviva by Camille. Aviva is in Peachtree Center, which is like a shopping plaza that's underground beside us. Lots of food there, a whole food court. But he also has his restaurants up here. This top shelf DragonCon food right there, and we love Camille. He's so friendly to the DragonCon crowd. He always, people dress up as him. So we support that. You got sushi right here. So there's usually food everywhere. That's just the Hilton's restaurant. You got a life-size TARDIS you can take a picture with. It looks like the Hilton is How to Train Your Dragon all around, which we're supportive of. We've got like Dalek Sec too. Oh, that's cool. So if you're trying to get up there to go to that Sky Bridge, you go to the back of the Hilton, and right there are escalators that take you up. But behind the Hilton is a little party area, if I'm honest with you. So you see both sides, there's like glass encased like outdoor courtyards. And this is where a lot of the photo shoots will be, on like the stairs for different cosplayers. But then also there will be DJs here, and this will become a party. You see a Bud Light tent. As the night falls, it will become just hopping out there. You also have lines that'll form out here for different panels. So you just kind of gotta, I always think that's cool with the Hilton, but you just gotta try to figure out where you're going. I do have my ribbons. I have my own ribbon with me. DragonCon is a big ribbon trading and finding convention, so I hope I will be finding some ribbons myself as we progress, but just to show you that. Don't forget, if you want to party or, you know, come out for dance music or whatever, this place is popping every night. Like, this is example of like a main programming room. I went up the escalator. This is the Grand East. And if you'll walk up to a room, you'll see like Disney Retro Sing-Along at 4 o'clock is the first thing here. Like, these will be the rooms that are very popular. So they'll show you where lines go. They'll come down, they'll go downstairs, they'll wind around. They try to keep it where it's not just occupying all this space. So that's important. That's another one. So you see we went up a level. They've got this sign here because even though we've been in the Hilton, you could have entered from right over here at the Sky Bridge and you might not realize where you're at, because it's really easy to get disoriented at a show like this with all these interconnected tunnels and whatever the case may be. It's just I don't know what I'm looking at here. Skeleton DJ? Is that a real person? I don't know. I don't want to be scared. I don't want to be scared. There you see another information panel. They have a map there. And now we're looking down. Right there is where the How to Train Your Dragon was. And when you get to the Hilton, if you get up here, you can do some cool just people watching. You see there's a Boba Fett, Wario, Strawberry Shortcake maybe there. You can just watch people come in their costumes. That's a Master Chief, you know. So anytime you get to an elevated place, you can just hang out. And again, you see there's places that are going to sell water, cocktails, whatever you want, almost all over the show once you're in a hotel. And if having a beverage, adult beverage is the thing you're into at a convention, as opposed to like MomoCon, where I don't think they sell any alcohol in the convention center or anything that's a convention center. These are all individual hotels that have liquor licenses. So all the hotels have alcohol for sale everywhere. So it becomes quite a thing in the evening. Come down this little side one, then you're also, like we talked about, tracks. Anything you might be a nerd of. These are going to be less populated. They do have a little bit of line space, but these panels are usually fan panels or unique things that you see. You got the science track, the space track here, and they'll have their day of events listed. So if you want to go to Science of CSI and Law and Order at 11:30, that's coming up. You could do it. So you see they'll have lots of signage. There's always good volunteers helping you know what you're doing. So really easy to navigate, in my opinion. DragonCon is it's a fan-run convention. It's not corporate. There are volunteers everywhere. I think that's Bob Ross. And, you know, the volunteers, they want to help. And you will encounter some volunteers that are loud because they're trying to keep lines in order, and there's 20,000 drunk people to keep in order. But everybody's trying to help. And so I support it. Here you go. You see Sky Bridge. Let me show you. Deadpool Bob Ross Sky Bridge to Peachtree Center, MARTA. Tells you where to go. So this takes us to the Marriott and the Hyatt, and that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna film in there because you just gotta keep walking and not stopping, but you see there's a guy right there. He's checking to make sure you have a badge. In you go. All right, as we exit the Sky Bridge, we enter the Marriott Hotel, the biggest and most prolific of the DragonCon hotels. There's John Hammond. And you see they've got it blocked so that you kind of follow, but right there you would have seen Welcome to DragonCon. You're at the Marriott. Bunch of levels here. This is where the prime people watching is. Very, very busy hotel. I don't know what that is coming over there. You see just unbelievable people watching. Everywhere you go, cool costumes. Kai will certainly be in her costumes as we go through. But each of these levels that have an opening up to the main atrium have things going on. So I'm not going to take the time to take you to every single level. I think there's 4 or 5 levels of stuff here. This is probably the Walk of Fame on the second level, yeah. So they're probably waiting for the Walk of Fame, which is where the celebrities would be. Once that opens up, you see you've got different concert stuff. I don't know, maybe we can walk around a little bit in here. There's Superman right there. Yeah, Walk of Fame. So eventually that's where all the celebrities would be. That line gets very, very busy. So if you're hoping to meet people, it does show you who's in there, but I would recommend using the app. See, just everywhere you go, there is little displays. Netherworld always has a cool display here. They'll have a cool display. That's our local haunted house. Looks like you can go in there for something this year. Copyright break time. And there is no way to do everything at DragonCon. That's 100% factual. It doesn't matter how hard you work, how late you stay up. You can't do everything. So you got to prioritize what you want to do. I found Waldo. There's Waldo. Tie-dye shirt. So you have to figure out what you want to do and go to the things that you're the most interested in. Because there is unfortunately a lot of lines. This is the IV stop here in the second floor. IV drips. Show you what you can get there at the IV stop. Over here you got charity events. If you want to drop off, there's always a charity every year at DragonCon that they do. And then let me work my way to the middle here. I don't know what this is a line for. I don't want to stand in a line I don't need to be in. But and you can see all the way up to where the Vulture swoops down. But again, food's going to be here. There's going to be alcohol. There's going to be water. Anything you want. And it's going to be expensive. I mean, you're in a middle of a convention, so it's, you know, a hot dog's not going to be cheap. But there's going to be all these little booths set up that are kind of like their own little vendor hall within the Marriott. So this is like hotel food, but it's fine. Like, you're going to get hungry and you're going to need something. Right there is the other DragonCon store. We saw the one in the Cortland Grand. That is the one in the Marriott. And here's another example of a big ballroom that'll host like a party or something tonight. Huge line. And a lot of times there's free stuff at these things. If you walk around and you look, people are giving away things and whatever. So I'm going to go up one level and keep showing you. All right, we've went up a level. This level is the lobby, like the main lobby of the Marriott. So there's not as much, you see, not as much stuff, because that's the check-in desk. So this gets busy with proper things, you know, like the actual hotel's activities. There's a Starbucks on this level. There's, I think, the hotel restaurant, nice steakhouse is over there on this level. The little store, if you need whatever. The elevator bay is in the middle. I'll be able to show you that a little better once we get up. And then you see the magnificent Atlanta Marriott Marquis. Welcomes DragonCon. And the Viking Alchemist Meadery, who we have become friends with. So she's the Book It Award. That's a funny costume. I'll try to show you costumes as I see them. This guy seems to be military Pokemon. We're gonna go up, but we'll see the Viking Alchemist Meadery here with their really cool boat. They got food, they got mead, special mead. We may hear more from them in future videos. See the big escalator bank, stairs, elevators. Now we're going to the main level of the show. You see all the way up. This is the level. This is the place where you see the most. It's got the big pulse bar right there. It's got, how do you describe it? It's got the pulse loft floating bar that's up above things. You see a Kingdom Hearts fight going on right there. And this is where you can just see so much. You can look down a couple levels. You can look all around. Come this evening, it's Friday, this place will be shoulder to shoulder. There will be no visible space. And people will be partying, having a good time. This is the cool place to hang out. There's just so much you can see. Monk's Mead right there. And these ballrooms host the biggest events, so that's cool. You got Eevee and Pikachu. That's cool. There's just so much. There's so much to show you. But so this is the desired hotel. It's very difficult to get into. It's the Hunger Games. But if you get in, that could be a room. You just walk out to the ledge and you can look down at all the partying all night long. So it is a very cool thing. And like you see, there's just so much cosplay at an all-time level. You're going to see droids. We'll probably see some of those in a minute. But I'm going to just take this in for a second, and then we'll keep walking. Continuing on. That's where we were. You see the big Pokemon. To get to the next hotel, which is the Hyatt, it's not quite as easy as the Hilton because it's kind of hidden by all this, but you go behind it, and there it breaks away to a new walkway that has your path to two different places that you'll need to be aware of. You can follow Saruman right there. But so you go behind into this and it splits. It goes left, it goes right. If you go left, it takes you toward the Peachtree Center food court. You wind down that way, and that is where food is. You can find like Chick-fil-A and, fast food and mall type food court. In this little atrium, sunroom, whatever, you often find here. This is where the droids set up that people have robotics. You see they're all right there. Come Saturday, there will be so many of these after the parade. And then you've got different track rooms. I think the robotics room is probably back there. That's why they're always here. See, there's some more back there. So always a cool place to stop by and visit. I've turned around now, but if you were coming out of the Marriott, you go left, you go toward Peachtree Center, you go right, you enter another sky bridge that takes you to the Hyatt. And I'm not going to film in here because you're not supposed to, but that's where we're going. Newer this year is here, so if you keep going, you're in the Hyatt. But there is now a food court over here to Truist Plaza. That's newer. That previously, last year I think it may have been the first year it was open, 2024, but nobody went. But now it's easy. I've never even been over there. I don't have time to go there right now, but another opportunity to go to food court, and maybe there's some parking over there, I'm not sure. But it splits off very clearly with signs from that sky bridge. The Hyatt pool, and you emerge into the Hyatt Regency out of that sky bridge. There's their restaurant and bar. They also have like a little market shop where you can get drinks, whatever. And then this is also the lobby floor. You can see all the way up. A little bit smaller hotel. Good restaurant there that we like to eat at. There's no programming on this floor. You have to go down to get to the programming, but you see it's very busy. People are checking in. And the Hamburglar right there? I think that's the Hamburglar. There is always a big blood drive at DragonCon. Kaya's going to do that this year for her first time. You have to be 16. So she's old enough. You get free swag if you do it. Giving blood is such a good thing to help people that need it. So we will go out that door. We can't get to the next stop without in a sky bridge. We do have to go outside into the city. But I want to take you down these escalators here to show you the other floors of the Hyatt. We've got ice cream push pops. We move down one level again. You got another information desk. It's got a map to help you know where everything is. And a main ballroom here, which will be for programming. There will be, like pop-up bars. This will pick up in popularity here in the Hyatt again, it's just Friday morning right now. And, you know, if you didn't take off work, you couldn't get there. You see, there's people in there in a panel. But so this has several levels. You can go down. I'm not going to take you to all of them, but I'll take you to some of them. Usually you can find a place on the ground to rest here. And there's usually water. Yeah, you see like water coolers. There's going to be water stations all throughout the con as well. I don't think I've seen one yet, but I'm sure I've passed them. I just haven't paid attention. So again, an escalator bank. Down, 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 up, 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 whatever you want to do. And down at the bottom of Hyatt is where you give blood. I will point to that actually. If you go down 2 levels, and then you see that's a new escalator bank, so that person going down, that's where you get blood. And there's always blood drive and volunteers showing you where to go. But at the bottom here is the art show. This is 2 levels down of the main level of the Hyatt if you walk in off the Sky Bridge or off the road. And the art show is exactly what it is. There'll be this stage right here has live music playing all the time once you get into the afternoons and evenings. OneRing.net, one of our favorite websites over many years. Look at that Bilbo. I might need to get that Bilbo smoking t-shirt. I wasn't planning on spending any money, but I also didn't know I was going to see that. I might have to have that. But in the art show, which is not open yet, it probably opens at 1 or 2 o'clock. All kinds of artwork, sculptures for sale. So these are like the fine artists, if you look at the images there, as opposed to the art floor in the vendor hall, the top floor of the vendor hall, which is more like comic art, pop art, comic artists, that kind of thing. This is more like fantasy art, sci-fi art, or sculptures, or things of that nature. So we will definitely go in that. Whether or not I can take you in there, I don't know. I don't know if you're allowed to film in there. Sometimes you are, sometimes you aren't. Look at all the hobbits. I'm going to inquire about this shirt, and then we'll continue to our next stop. Bought my shirt, acquired my first ribbon as well. Ooh. All right, we went back up 2 levels, and now we walk out into the main part of the city, to Peachtree Street, which is the main route of the parade. A road, if you live in Atlanta, you are very, very familiar with. A road, if you don't live in Atlanta, but you're familiar, you make fun of us about, because everything is named Peachtree something, which is not necessarily false. You can hear that's as you walk in the hotel, they're making sure, because DragonCon is a private event, so you can't even enter these buildings if you don't have a badge. But what we're going to do, we're going to walk out to the main Peachtree Street, and we're going to turn left to the Westin, which is the 5th and final of the con host hotels. And then we're going to work our way toward the shopping area. I'm actually going to go to a comic panel in a little while, and then we'll look at the shopping. So you turn down, you've got to walk about 1.5 blocks to get to the Westin. See, it gets super busy already, just out on the streets. But this is where the parade will be going. We will be set up down there in the pit with the press access to watch the parade, which is exciting. They close off a lot of these roads to through traffic to make it a little easier to navigate. And you see that even out here they have signs, so you go down there to vendors, gaming, comic, pop artists. It's down there. We'll go there in a minute, but first let's go to the final hotel. Right there is Peachtree Center with the illuminated LED peaches. Below that is the Peachtree Center if you want to get there from the outside to the food court. Also takes you down to the MARTA, public transportation and what have you, so that's good. And you can see up ahead Westin. This hotel here, Hotel Indigo, not a host hotel, but a great hotel if you can get a room in, because you can see right there's the Hyatt. So this is a great hotel to stay in if you can get a room, but it is not a host hotel. I don't know if it has DragonCon rates or not. Like most things with the crowd, you're going to find a great number of solicitors out on the street, or panhandlers, or all kinds of things really. That's the big cylinder. That's the Westin Hotel. You actually enter a little bit back from the cylinder. You see this parade of people. But that's the big hotel. So there is a ramp you can go to, but you go right up here. You enter on like the 4th floor of the Westin if you enter off of Peachtree. Westin doesn't have as much of the party atmosphere. It's definitely the quieter hotel. Easier to kind of get back to your room and hide out. It is the host hotel I have stayed at when I've stayed here a few times. But it is not cheap. None of these are. You see right away, military track. And so there you go, there's a water station. You'll find those. You just have to keep an eye out.
So over here, you won't have as much here. So you go. Apocalypse Rising zombie makeovers happening at 4 o'clock today. That's fun. So, I mean, if you're looking for, I want to stay at the show, I'm coming around town or whatever, this is usually the hotel that's the easiest. But easy is not the right word, but it's not hard. You'll find tables like this all over the place. This is all freebie stuff. People just leave things. Sometimes it's goodies, sometimes it's promotion. I'm on the lookout for ribbons. But lots of panels here. There is also food here. There are sky bridges here that connect you to the shopping. Oh, safety. It says safety. Safety. But they're closed off, unfortunately. So this is the Westin. I'm going to turn around and go right back out. But that way you know this is the 5th and final host hotel. There is more seating here, places to rest. Easier to kind of get away from the crowds in this hotel. All right, we walked right back out where we came in, and now we're going to turn and walk down the hill toward the shopping and vendor. I'm actually 1 block beyond it, but you go back behind the Westin. If you were coming out of the Hyatt, you just keep walking straight, basically. Cross the street, cross another street, and you're making your way to the America's Mart, which is like our trade show hall venue. You know, I honestly don't completely know what the America's Mart is used for when there's not shows and conventions. I am jaywalking here toward the Peach Mart, friendly corner store, but that's where we're headed. You're looking for Ted Turner Drive. That's the cross street. You see the Aflac Labor Day weekend. We also, at the Falcon Stadium, which is that way, host the college football kickoff game. I think South Carolina's playing in it this year. That line you see right there is a line to get in the shopping, which is the America's Mart building too, which you see right there. That's full of vendors. It's huge space. The line will wrap all the way around it. It's a long line. Best I can tell you is if you want to shop at DragonCon, Monday it's usually not that bad. Any other day, you just need to plan like 4 or 5 hours, because once it's going to take you over an hour to get through this line, because so many people want to get in there. But once you're in there, you can stay in there all day. So just spend a day shopping if you want to shop, if that's what you want to do. There's so many other things to do. I would recommend not. I will go in there and I'll show you that today. And I should have shown you that already on Wednesday and Friday. But the first thing I'm going to do is go to the building beside it. That building, which is I think America's Mart building 1. And that's where the gaming is. And hopefully it doesn't have as long a line. Looks like we'll be okay to get in building 1. That's the actual entrance to building 2 for the shopping. But of course, you hear him say down the hill. You got to go down the hill and wait in the line. It's not what I'm doing right now. I'm going that way. But it's quite a wait. Apologize. It's building 3, not building 1. Building 3 is where the gaming hall is. So card games, Pokemon, tabletop, Magic. I think you can get in here. I think. No entry to 4 p.m. That was yesterday. And then there should be the arcade in here. D&D. I hope. That should be our entrance right there. All right. Again, more coffee, drink places. And then you enter. There's 2 different places. So you can go upstairs, enter here for tabletop gaming, painting. Over here is going to be like cards and arcade gaming. And that kind of thing. And there's a bunch of tournaments, you see. You can register, sign up for different things. But this is a huge hall of all kind of stuff. Paint and take, just like at MomoCon. If you watch MomoCon content, you can enter a contest where you pick a miniature, you paint it. They get paints and stuff, and you get Grill Masters. And you get an opportunity to win a prize. So it looks like this is all painting and, the paint and take. Very popular. Here's Wild Bill's, where if you bring your soda cups, which we do have, you fill them up. There will also be one of those in the main shopping hall, probably. Some nice DragonCon things. One of the things I like to get every year is a playmat from DragonCon, which is usually over here. This is going to be a big Pokemon vendor booth, which is probably crazy and very, very busy. Ribbons there, probably have to donate to get a ribbons. Convention League, you got buttons. This is all kind of stuff. Different exclusive things for tournaments. See if you play Matt. So this is all card games, leagues. You can play with your friends. If you need lands, because you're playing a sealed event. But this booth right here, this Pokemon booth, is usually insane. And here's some of the little packages you can get for things. Magic, they're all over here. Are these uncut sheets? Oh yeah, so like if you have tickets from winning competitions, you can redeem them like Chuck E. Cheese. These are all Magic, uncut sheets. Usually they have DragonCon playmat. That's exclusive. Cards for sale. Those look like Magic playmats, of course. Different deck accessories. Dice. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so like that's this year's DragonCon playmat there. Which I think you have to buy a package to get there. Yeah, you have to buy one of these entrances. Command. Is there a Pokemon? There's a Pokemon package. Battle deck, random pack, promo sleeves, dice, and bag playmat. We'll probably get that. And then, let's see what's over here. Probably the same thing, is my guess. Yeah, Pokemon package. I can see a little more clear.
All right, it's going to be
there.
2120.
Might get that. Because we get one of those every year. So I will probably buy that. Let's look at this booth real quick, though. GradedPower.com. They're the main card booth here. They probably buy, sell, trade, I would guess. That's tons of Magic symbols there. Magic is certainly more popular than Pokemon here. You know, the fantasy element's a little bit older game. But I mean, you see there is a ton of stuff for sale. In fact, this booth is where I bought Kaya a Charizard last year. But you look at all these cards here. Cookie Run. You know, there were Cookie Run cards. Avatar Magic's coming. Look at all those Pokemon packs. Crazy. Monster Slabs. Look at all those Charizards. Look at all the Charizards. I have to behave myself, though. I wasn't going to spend any money, and I bought the shirt. Stuff will still be here later. I'm tempted to go ahead and get that Pokemon. I don't want to carry it today. When I have the girls with me, I have like their backpacks, but I may go ahead and get it. I am going to leave it for now because I'm going to have plenty of time, and I don't think it'll sell out. But it may, and then I regret it. But I want to take you back here. I think the arcades are going to be back here, and then I got to get to my panel that starts in 20 minutes. That's right across the way. So let me get over here. Oh, here's some people have already got their speed paint competition. Is that Galactus? Some people have already finished. Historical models. This is Napoleon. That's some cool stuff. So these are probably, I guess, people that did it yesterday or earlier this morning. So you get put out here and then they get judged and you win. You can win. So yeah, I think back here will be the arcade. I don't know what this is. Oh, like games. So like games will be demoed or set up. There'll be a lot of food in this area. I'm all the way at the back. So we came in that front corner. I've walked all the way to the back. Again, America's Mart Building 1. Oh, chicken salad chick. Natalie will be happy to hear that. That is her favorite. That's new in the DragonCon. Of course, a bar. The Crown Royal Throne. If you want to sit in the Crown Royal Throne, it's available. And you get back here, you got the arcade. So it's not as much as you see at MomoCon, because MomoCon is much more of a video game convention, but you can check out tabletop games. Above us, if we went upstairs, are places where you can play D&D. So you got arcades, you got pinball, rhythm games. And this stays open for the next 120 hours or whatever. You can come here whenever you want and play. And a lot of these food places stay open till like 4 a.m. So you can get a boba tea or a dumpling or whatever you want to get here and have a good time. All right, I got to get to my panel, which I'm enjoying. It's a comic panel about Like if you want to write your own comic, put it on Kickstarter. I thought that'd be interesting. And I'm going to sit and watch that, support the comic panel folks. I have some friends that work on that. And then after that, I'm going to get into shopping. I'm not going to show you any line or anything. We're just going to be in the shopping. So we're going to jump forward a couple hours into the shopping, hopefully. We'll show you here. Kickstarting comic books. That's what I'm going to. I would have liked to get to that G.I. Joe Transformers Mask one, but I was filming for you guys, which I don't mind. So, but I do want to watch this. See y'all in a bit.
This Kickstarter, and a lot of my friends were like, hey, you gotta do a Kickstarter, because I never did it before. I always, even if I created new stuff, I did it Kickstarter. But anyway, yeah, it worked out, and we'll talk about it.
All right, that was fun. That was a good panel. It had 5 comic book creators who have successfully published on Kickstarter, and then the director of Kickstarter Comic Publishing. So very interesting. A lot of, you know, I'm not a comic artist, but I found it interesting. So I'm in the pop artist for. I'm going to show you a few things. Speaking of, my buddy Dominic just had a successful Kickstarter publish. He's here. We'll look at him. But we're going to show you around here the art section, DragonCon, as we go through the vendor hall, and then we'll wrap this video up. This is the 4th floor of the 4 floors of vendors. That building with the really long line. That's where I'm in. I'm at the top of it. I like that red and white art. A lot of the art here is probably going to be somewhat familiar because we've bought a lot of art from DragonCon over the years. Again, this is the comic and pop artists. You saw where there was the art show that was back in the Hyatt, which is more of the fine art. So you see these are all going to be different. You know, that's like cartoonist work. There's going to be some big comic names in here and various other things. I like that digital art with the ships. Rob Taylor. And I like these foil prints. We're a fan of that. I'm not going to show you every single booth. It's not possible. And I'm sure next week we will be back in here on our second DragonCon vlog when I'm walking around with other people, hopefully. So, I like this kind of oil painting style. It's pretty. It's pretty. If we can find, we have that link cooking. We can find a link with side on. We have to get it for Victoria. Looks like some, is that a Sailor Moon? Oh, it's kind of creepy. Kind of creepy. And somewhere there will be, is that the badge artist? Yes. So this must be where the live art by Greg Mike, he must be the badge artist. Look at that huge, that's the badge. They always have the badge artist. You can get your badge signed by the artist. We like both of these things too. Those are cool. That's a new one piece. We have several pieces of this guy where it tells like the whole story of something and one vertical piece. We like that. Let's continue find some of the things. So you see here's like, I don't know, sculptures or, I don't know what that is, little ghosts and frogs.
Thank you so much.
And then the Don Rosa must be like an old action adventure comics artist. Art of James Mulligan, a lot of Disney art there, that's cool. Pencil drawings, I like this. We picked up some of this last year. Some of these are really cool. They had an amazing Daenerys that I almost got the original, but it's very expensive. Very, very cool bearded artist. We have some of his stuff. We just run out of room, so now it just ends up going into portfolios. That Avatar. Turn me away, Mothman. So much creative stuff. You can get commissions. This is where I used to get some of my comics commissioned, my blank covers, but I've run out of those. They've got kind of expensive to get. I don't know, I just collect too much stuff. Look at this, some wood. Oh, look, Frankenberry. More of that wood, that's cool. And then these are all gonna be like true comic artists that are gonna have things they've worked on, covers that you could get autographed, whatever the case may be. Original work, portfolios of their stuff. Hey, this is a tiki. Huh. That's cool. Working through here pretty quickly because I do have to get to... Kaya has an event tonight that we have to get to. We're going to try to do that. Yeah, so see, like Jason Keith, the colorist who made Hulk Red, the first Red Hulk in 2008. So, get the opportunity to see lots of cool stuff. Let me see what's over there. I'll come back over there. Little Jen, walking and talking. But so it's always worth it to come up here, especially if you're into art or comics, or you're just looking for a unique piece. Like, look at this DC and Marvel pieces. I like that stuff, you know. Our house is outfitted and all sorts of things like that. So everywhere you look, you get positive memory of a fandom, or sometimes the show we're at, original art. Just think it's cool. June Brigman, Roy Richardson. So yeah, he's got a portfolio of original pieces. This is toys and books. I don't know, it sounds like this person's just selling off some of their regular stuff here. Matt Frank. But I'm going to keep walking around here. I'll find something cool to show you. Official artists on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and K-pop Demon Hunters. That's pretty cool. Guy Dorian Sr., he was in the panel we just did. Big G.I. Joe and other things. He comes to Toylanta, I believe. I think I see my man Dominic Glover over there. Let's go talk to him. You see the Bright booth down there. There's my man Dominic. Right there. We're going to go say hi. See what's going on with his successful Kickstarter. I'm wearing his shirt right now. We're happy to see him. What's up, buddy? This was the new piece Dominic had at MomoCon that we have. It's just so good. And we were talking, so you see Monkey with a Katana there. That is his comic book that's successfully funded. I was a big backer. In fact, we are going to get Mr. Rufus drawn by Dominic Glover as part of the Kickstarter rewards. We love them. We love coming to their booth. We have so much of their art in our house. He has a great Kickstarter or a Patreon that you can sign up for that I highly recommend. I do it every month, and I get one of his t-shirts and one of his art prints every month. Highly recommend. I, in fact, have a Carnage coming in the next couple weeks. So Dominic's a great dude. If you ever see him at a convention, come say hi and check out his comic because it's very good, great art. We're happy to support him. Spent a few minutes talking to Dominic and his wife. Always enjoy that. Looking at the artwork. Let me show you everything else that I see in here. Everything else is probably not the right word, but some other things. Oh, you could see, I mean, there's, I don't know, 20 rows, 30 rows up here of this stuff. Also, if you have a little one, oh, there's a Turtles, Eric talk about Turtles. Looks like he had some blank covers. I think right here, right? Scott Snyder's here, I think. Yeah, so that's a big name. You see some of the big names. Scott Snyder, known for so much good Batman and Batman Who Laughs and whatever. But you can get from here a coloring book, and you can get a sketchbook for little kids. And certain artists will have, like, that they do sketches. So, like, when Shiloh comes later in the weekend, we will do that with her. And she'll get to go around and they'll draw little sketches for her. It's a really cool thing. But I believe it is time to go shopping at DragonCon. So, let's go shopping. All right, we moved our way down to floor 3. And let's look around. Japanime Games. Again, we're not going to do a comprehensive look at the shopping in this video. We're just going to do a little bit. We looked at a lot of this in Wednesday and Friday, and we'll look at more of it next week. Of course, Mario's Comics, always. Anything in Georgia, Mario's going to be there somehow. He's at every single show. Look at these maps. I'm a fan of maps, nerdy maps. Look, the Jurassic Park map, that's neat. Hotel Dorado, the Zelda cloth map, like that. I did earn a new ribbon while I was coming down, filming a different video. That was good. Let's see, what else? It's obviously very busy, but not nearly as busy as it will be STL Brick Fanatics. It's a lot of minifigures, custom minifigures, but that is way too busy to get into right now. Oh, that's kind of cool. Krampus switch face art. A lot of Marriott carpet there. And some Zelda, a Zelda pocketbook. I know Natalie's interested in getting some Zelda bags. She really wants like a Zelda lounge fly, which we have not been able to find like a Zelda book bag, but there's some Zelda stuff here. I need to keep an eye out for a Zelda like book bag for her, because I know she'd like that. I should do this booth Friday, but just in case. Brickerbuilds.com. These are all custom designed. They give you the pieces so that you can build it yourself. Super cool nerd stuff. Look at all the Jurassic Park stuff, Mosquito and Amber. I really like it. I want to make sure you saw it in case you didn't watch the midweek videos, but you watched Dub Life. It's certainly very cool. Very cool. And some more 3D printed helmets. Oh, I see a Frieza over there. Oh, that's a backside of a Frieza. Oh my, and Boo? Those are cool. What's a helmet? Man, and Boo. Those almost look like ceramic. The Frieza is so nice. These Oni masks.
But then nobody pushes me around either.
Oh, Saiyan armor over there?
Nobody.
Look at this guy. That is beautiful. These are very cool. The Saiyan armor chest plates. Man, that's nice. These. Ooh. I want to make sure I show you that. Mindless Creations. These are just beautiful, beautiful 3D stuff. That's awesome. That booth is awesome. Mindless Creations. 3D printing. It's awesome. Oh, we found the Wild Bills inside. So third floor is where, not that it helps you this year, but that's where it is. Fill up your drink. I got to remember to bring our cups and we can get them reactivated. Returning your mug, special pricing on unlimited daily refills. Try to do that. All right, I'm running out of time, so I got to progress. I think we'll move down to the next floor and check out what's down there. I'm down on the second floor. Our friends at Plastic Empire here in Marietta. And if you're looking to get Labubu, they have a seat. They have Big Energy. I don't know if they have any Macron. And then various other blind box things. I'm kind of right in the middle a little bit. So we're in a hurry. I got to get out of here in about 20 minutes. So I'm going to try to take you through some of this floor, some of the first floor, and wrap this video up. And then you'll get a lot more of this next week. Look at that Fallout booth. The theming of this booth. That's very cool. That's just nice. All Fallout stuff, the open. Really cool theming. Some cool masks. Homelander. Walking and talking through that. Oh my goodness, that's a little ooh la la. A little not for the camera situation. I don't know what that was. Look at those dolls. I bet Seth loves those right there. Crazy Ed's Comic and Collectibles. Darwin and Wallace, a Nature and Fossil Store. Was that Kirby? Huh. Those are kind of cool, actually. Stained glass evolutions. Oh, and then I don't know. Like look, animal up there. There's so much tails. Look at these dudes. I don't know what it is, but look at it. There's some Lego and comics and figures here. Plushes and pops and artwork. And it's just an amazing place to walk through and look around. Before we get out of here, I want to show you Tony from Nowhere Comics. He's going to have Labubu and Sunny Angels, and but then also figures and imports. I only realized last year that they come up here for this show.
No, I said that.
But he's been coming for many years. I saw Tony here. I think he took a break. Tony will have some vintage. Some Garbage Pail Kids. Voltron? Oh, Vanguard. All kind of cards. One Piece, Pokemon, Union Arena. Some promo packs. Of course, figures. Loose figures, probably one of the few places you're going to get loose figures. Comic-Con exclusives. It's John Cena up there. A little bit of everything here. Want to make sure to show Tony the love and Nowhere Comics. What I'm looking at here. Fossils? Huh. I would like to find Natalie a Zelda lounge fly bag. We're not even sure that they exist, or if they do, that there's many of them. But I am gonna look. There's some Monsters Labubu, some One Piece Labubu. Oh, they have Labubu here. Macron, big into energy. I would imagine there'd be quite a few places selling Labubus until they sell out here. Yeah, none of that looks like Zelda. That is a Zelda backpack. Huh. Investigate. I got it. That's a win. Oh, there's Keyblade. All right, I gotta hurry now. I gotta hoof it and get back to the car and end this video. That's a win. Natalie's been looking for this. We couldn't find one at Southeast Game Exchange. We couldn't find one online. We saw this one online, but it's sold out everywhere and it's expensive. They had it at retail price. Very happy to add it. Oh no. Escalator doesn't work. Poopy. Ultra Sabers, Lightsaber Casino. Down on the first floor now. We're gonna wrap this thing up, but it is Lightsaber Casino. But I don't have anybody here to do it with. One day we'll do the Lightsaber Casino again. Those wigs, I know this is a place that Kaya will be interested in. Last time they sold out of something that she went to. Ooh, ribbons. I gotta get these for the girls too. I know Kaya wants that. I like these things, the like shadow boxes with the characters like looking. I think those are neat. Oh, lots of phone cases this year. That's nice. All right, I have Labubu. Gotta work my way out of here. Lots of prop replicas. I'm gonna spend a lot more time next time I come in here. Hopefully I'll still be filming. I may have already finished. I love this booth always, Geek Orthodox. I have several of these. Kim gets me these. They have clings. They go on your window and they make it look like stained glass. She does that in like her D&D room. And then some huge prop replicas there. I like that stuff. Forged in foam. Just kind of walking down the middle right now. I'm not even going down the aisles. We still have time. We got 3 hours till Kaya performs, and I'm probably 2 hours away from there by the time I walk to my car and drive there. So I gotta hoof it. Can't be late to the kiddos events. That always takes precedence. But I'm glad we've been able to get this video filmed and kind of give you a view. Everything DragonCon. Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab. It's one of Kim's favorite, my sister. That is a perfume, cologne, incense, nerdy type of place. Portable phone. Look how long those phone cords are. That's crazy. Mystery boxes, t-shirts. I didn't think I was going to buy anything, but I bought the Bilbo shirt for me. I bought this for Natalie. That is a big win. We've been looking for that. There's banana pudding and Japanese cheesecake right here. Well, that's a temptation. Huh. That's interesting. Right when you come in from on the main floor, you can just immediately get some treats. Huh. Then the fudge. I just like to look at that. And as we start to exit out of the shopping area, which we filmed a little bit of, I'll show you the way it works. Look at all these patches right here. My goodness. So much going on. So much going on. We're going to exit back. A couple things I want to show you. You can get across. You can use a sky bridge to get over there to the top floor of the gaming hall. You just can't come back. So you have to go up one escalator and you'll take a bridge across. So you can go, but you can't come back. There's a bar there. There's going to be food set up here. Every single floor, all four floors, or the first 3 floors at each side have food. There's chicken salad chick, Chick-fil-A, and you just use these banks of escalators to go up and down. And that's how you navigate this place. And on each side, the front and the back. they have that. So once you get in, you don't have to leave. There's bathrooms, there's food, there's all kind of stuff. Hello, hello. So I would recommend making shopping its own day and just staying in here until you know you're done with everything. But for me now, I'm gonna maneuver my way back out of the chaos and try to get back to my car, wrap this video up, and head home. And don't worry, there's a lot more coming next week. Walking out of the shopping and walking my way out of DragonCon for just today. 3 full, very full days. Today I got down here around 11:15, and I am leaving. It is 4 o'clock. So I was only here for about 5 hours, 4 or 7. So it'll be about 5 hours by the time I get to my car. Whereas tomorrow, I'll probably get down here around 8 a.m. and we may not leave till 1 or 2 a.m. That will repeat Sunday. We'll arrive a little later because the parade's tomorrow, so we get here early for the parade. But they become 14, 15-hour days. So it's a lot. There's a lot that happens at this show, a lot to see, a lot to do, a lot to hang out, spend time with people. And it's the everything convention. That's the easiest way I can describe it. It's everything, no matter what you're into. You know, just a moderate fan who just likes to see things, collect some stuff or watch some things, you can do that. Or you can go as deep as you want to at this show. My goal of this video was to really give you, from my perspective, a tour, walking tour. I probably am going to call it the walking tour, because I took you all around the main elements of the show. Showed you all the host hotels. I showed you the main shopping halls. Showed you the gaming hall. There's so much more that you can find and do that I don't even know about. Showed you some panel rooms, a little bit of a panel. The DragonCon app is voluminous and comprehensive and has everything you need, so I recommend that. It's a good app you can download. And the biggest tip I can give you is if you're coming by yourself, they have like a DragonCon for Newbie tour that you can come early and they'll walk you around and show you everything. But hopefully you know somebody that's come to DragonCon before. It's unlike any other convention I've been to, and I've been to New York Comic Con, MomoCon, and tons of things. And it's unlike anything I've ever been to because the nature of you have to go out into the city like I am right now to walk to another building. As opposed to like MomoCon, it's very contained. DragonCon is a very sprawling convention that's taking place over several miles and who knows how many millions of square feet of space. That's where it can get overwhelming. This is definitely an overwhelming con for people. I know I have friends that have anxiety that would really struggle with it. There's no way around that. It is an overwhelming con. But in my opinion, the best way to handle that is to find a friend to go with that knows their way around, that can help you, that can guide you. And that's what I try to be in this for you. So I hope you enjoyed our walking tour at DragonCon 2025. If you'll come back next Sunday, it'll be more of a traditional Dub Life vlog. I'm sure the family will be around. Hopefully we'll run into some friends, some silly stuff. I don't have my running buddy this year at DragonCon, Andrew Bogish, who came last year with me, because we have our event at Charlie's on the 13th coming up in 2 weeks. He chose to go to that one instead because, again, time off work, hotel, it's expensive to do these things. So we'll see Andrew in a couple weeks. I don't have my running buddy, so I don't know what I'm going to get into, but you'll find out next Sunday when we continue with our DragonCon coverage. I hope you enjoyed the little walk around hunt videos. I'm sure we'll get back in that vendor hall. I'm sure we'll look at some more art. I'm sure we'll look at some more silly stuff, and we'll have a good time. But that's it for my first vlog from DragonCon 2025. It's Big Dub. Holla at you soon. Squeeze it.